An artist gets an apparel deal with a major consumer brand based on his cultural relevance and ability to entertain and connect with consumers. Not long after getting the deal, in an attempt to be clever and entertaining, he utters lines that cost him the brand deal and fumble the bag, and he ain't even know. Funds Flows is about music that means business. Today's song is less about vibes and more about hard lessons learned. Endorsement or sponsorship deals or partnerships between big consumer brands and musicians is a time honored tradition. It's something that we've talked about repeatedly, from Katy Perry's Harley's song and Harley endorsement to my client T Pain Buy You a Drink song, inspiring the creation of this energy shot, Good Game by T Pain, which again, I had the privilege of being involved in setting up the transaction. There also was, in an earlier example, Run DMC's shout out of Adidas and their song My Adidas that then led to an Adidas brand deal, a rapper and shoe brand collaboration. Today, I want to talk about another one. Rick Ross entered into a lucrative brand deal with Reebok, where he was one of their flagship partners. And he landed this deal because, especially back in 2014, he was popping. He had a lot of hot songs. He was very entertaining, controversial, and edgy, but in a way that worked, in a way that appealed to the masses. So it made sense for Reebok to enter into a brand deal with him. Well, in the song You Ain't Even Know, where it's actually Rocco's song featuring Rick Ross and Future, the artists kind of arrogantly talk about ways that they make money and live a lavish life and how they do it below the radar in ways that you ain't even know. It's so far beyond your comprehension. Ironically, in this song, in one line, Rick Ross shouts out and brags about his brand deal with Reebok. And in the very next line, he says something so controversial that Reebok decided that they had to terminate their relationship with him because of brand integrity and quality control. They exercised the quality control or the morals clauses in their deal with him. In a bit of hyperbole, Rose says, I die over these Reeboks. You ain't even know. Then in the next line, he says, put Molly in her champagne. She ain't even know. And then he talks about going home and having sexual activities with this person. Clearly, a very scary line, a rapey line about drugging someone and having sex with them without their consent. In the first line, he brags about how important his Reebok deal is. In the very next line, he fumbles the bag. He jacks the money because he forgot that although he has a brand identity that was valuable and that Reebok wanted to leverage, that brand identity was subordinate to Reebok's brand identity, and his creative control was secondary to Reebok's quality control mechanisms, and it cost him his deal. You ain't even know.